Hi, Fashion Goals. It is Transformation Tuesday, December 21st, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. Today's special guest is known for his notable role as Elvin on The Cosby Show. He is an acting vet and legend, and he will be joining me here today for his interview in 2021 into the new year. I'm super excited for this prime time interview, ladies and gentlemen. Let me send this live to Geoffrey Owens so that we can get this show started. As you guys noticed a little bit different. I hope you guys are doing all wonderful today. I feel awesome, and I hope you guys do too. We are on a new device, so hopefully my phone works. No flubs or mess ups or anything. Ladies and gentlemen, our very special guest is here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's do the honors of welcoming our very special guest, acting legend and vet and acting coach, Mr. Geoffrey Owens.
Hi.
Hello. Oh my God.
Did you say I
Hi.
was a vet? You said I was a vet?
Yes,
Nah, I don't
acting
I don't
vet,
work with no animals.
legend.
I don't work with any animals. I've never medically treated an animal. I'm not a vet.
It is such an honor to meet you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh my
Thank you.
God, ladies and
Am I holding
gentlemen.
this thing right? Am I okay? Is
Yes,
this
you're
where I need to
perfect.
be? Okay. I think this is my
Yes,
first IG interview like this, so I'm just making sure I'm in the right place.
yes, you're perfect. We can see you and we can hear you. All
Okay.
right, so let's go way back when. March 18th, 1961.
I
You were
was
born in Brooklyn, New
remember
York.
the wind was blowing. It was a little snow outside. And I remember my mother shrieking, "Oh my God, it's another boy!" Yeah, good times, good times.
How many brothers and sisters?
One older brother, one younger brother. I'm the middle of three brothers.
Okay, okay. So where did you get the acting bug from?
I don't know. My mother was an artist to a certain extent. She was a musician and a visual artist. You know, my dad really not at all. Um, I don't really know where I got the acting bug from, honestly. I just, by the time I was in grade school, I just liked getting up on stage and being silly, or like imitating things like all kids do, imitating animals, imitating dinosaurs, stuff like that around the house. That's really
Yeah.
where it started.
Okay, okay. And then fast forward, you got the role as Elvin on The Cosby Show, and you've been on there since 1985 until
Right?
1992.
Yes.
So, one of my favorite episodes, I would have to say, and I seen a clip of it on YouTube, was when Sandra was in late going into labor and you were panicking, you didn't know what to do. That episode tickled me so bad. And that happens to most men when, women get into situations like this. It's crazy, but that was my favorite
One of
episode.
my favorite lines, Bill says to me at one point, he just says, "Breathe into the bag, boy. Breathe into the bag, boy." He's trying to keep me from hyperventilating.
Oh my goodness. And you've also worked with Raven Simone. What was Raven like growing up as Olivia to see her now doing her
Oh,
thing? She's
you know,
still doing her thing.
awe of Raven. I'm in awe of her. She's brilliant. She's a brilliant actress, comedian. She was a brilliant little kid on the show, but sometimes when kids, sometimes when people are brilliant at that age, they don't keep it up. It doesn't necessarily translate into an equivalent brilliance later on in their life. And when I hooked up with when I met her again in 2005, 2006, when I was a guest on That's So Raven, and saw what she was doing with that show, and I realized that this girl is the real thing. She knows what she's doing. It's not just a smart little kid saying lines. She's just the consummate performer, comedian, actress. Wonderful, just wonderful. I think she's terrific.
Absolutely, 100%. So you have a son, and I did an interview with your son just
Yeah.
last week, Jordan. And he jump started his actor career, and he was telling me, some pointers that you have given him along the way. What's some of the best advice that someone has given you throughout your career? Because you've been doing this for so long, you're a legend.
Yeah, it's been 35, almost 36 years in the business. I the best advice I think I got overall from people was just to take it seriously, to take the craft part of it seriously. I'm a kind of a stage actor. I'm a stage trained actor. Did a lot of theater. Still at this point, I've done more theater than anything else. And so my love is the love of the craft. I'm not in love with the business. The business is a bitch. The business will throw you up and throw you down. Business can be great, it can be horrible, anything in between. But the craft of acting, the art of acting and theater and all that, that's what I really love, and that's what I hold on to. And I was just kind of raised in that tradition. I had some wonderful teachers early on. I had a teacher in junior high school, a guy named William Fleischman. He passed many years ago. But he was a phenomenal teacher, and he really instilled in me a seriousness and respect for acting and for theater. I had another teacher in the performing arts when I went to performing arts high school. Shout out to my old classmates Wesley Snipes and Esai Morales and Steve Weber, and I was at school at the same time as all those guys. I had a great teacher named Ruth L. Kohler who did the same thing. I just had some great teachers who were very serious about it and encouraged me and inspired me to be the same.
Okay.
Another little piece of advice that David Mamet says: learn your lines, know your lines. That's the best little piece of advice I could give to any actor.
Because it happens, it's completely different from doing, like, I had a conversation with a few actors on my platform last week, and they were telling me, Broadway and doing a television show is completely different. Like, when you're on Broadway, it's like in real time. So there's no time for mess ups. You got to get it right there on the spot.
Yeah. I mean, you're on the tightrope, as we say. You're on the tightrope, right? You've done a ton of preparation, a ton of rehearsal, and you have your technique and your training in hand, and you go out there, and it's up to you. In television and film, the director and the editor controls everything ultimately. They will decide on what your performance is, right? But on stage, it's you, and there's no hiding from it.
Absolutely, 100%. Well spoken, well spoken. And speaking of Broadway, you're also the founder and artistic director of the Brooklyn Shakespeare Company. And tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that's a company I had a long time ago. Unfortunately, I haven't been active with that company recently, but it's something that I started and I did a number of productions with years ago. And because Shakespeare is my great love artistically. But more recently, I am the creator of a show called Now I Am Alone, which is a one-man Shakespeare show that I perform, in which I do 28 Shakespeare speeches back to back. And I've performed that show in Memphis, Tennessee, and I'm hoping to perform it in the New York, New Jersey area and other places as well. But that's a 1 hour and 20-minute show. It's just me on stage talking for all that time, talking Shakespeare.
And I've seen you post some Shakespeare lines here on your Instagram. It's just incredible. I did Shakespeare when we was in high school. We did Macbeth and A Midsummer's Night. Like, it was everything. My instructor taught me all about that, and it helped me along the way for public speaking. So I give Miss Ferguson so much credit for that.
Yeah, I post 2 Shakespeare speeches a month on Instagram, so people who follow me are attentive. They'll find it. I do a little introduction, and then you see me do the speech, and then I do a little commentary afterwards.
And I love how you do it. It's so eloquent, and it's just everything. The audience is agreeing with me on this 100%. We got another legend in the building. Shout outs to Rudy Rush, who's an amazing comedian who is coming on the show in January, who's worked alongside Tommy Davidson and Monique, just to name a few. So you never know who's out there in the audience watching. So shout outs to Rudy Rush. Send some hearts in the comments for Mr. Geoffrey Owens, ladies and gentlemen. He is a legend, and we are going to give him all his flowers here today on Style by Stevie. All his flowers.
I'll tell
love
you,
him.
you never know how someone who's out there. The first show I ever did in New York after college, the first show I ever did, an off Broadway show, someone came to see, a producer came to see someone else in the show in order to see if he was right for another show. And he didn't like that other guy as much. He liked me better. And I got offered a part in a union show. So it's true. Like, you never know who's out there. And that's why when you're performing, you always do your best, no matter what.
And some of the audience members also have seen you on an episode of 50 Cent's show Power. They've been mentioning it. So tell us a little bit about that. What was your experience like working with Curtis 50 Cent Jackson on his show on
It's funny.
Stars?
Keep referring to it as Power. You know, Power was the original show, but now the show is called Ghost or Power Book 2, right?
Yeah.
Everyone keeps calling it Power, but the show Power is technically over. I was on a couple of episodes of Power, but now I've been on 5 or 6 episodes of Ghost, the first 2 seasons. But it's all the Power story, right? And that's been a great experience. I've never actually met 50 Cent. I look forward to that. We've never been in the same, working together at the same time.
I'm busy. I can't come out right now. I'm on doing an interview. You were saying?
I know, real life, right? But he's obviously he's one of the people who's most responsible for my being on the show. I'm very, very grateful to him for the opportunity. And apparently people are digging what I'm doing, the character of Daniel Warren, the lawyer for Tariq, the estate lawyer. I haven't been on a ton of episodes, but whenever I'm there, the crew and the cast is just awesome. We have a wonderful time. Everyone makes me feel very included. They make me feel like I'm there all the time, and I'm not, but they make me feel like I'm one of the family, and it's just been a great experience. I can't wait to get back to work.
Absolutely. And the audience is ready for it. They are so ready for it. So we are now going into 2022, into the new year, closing out. Christmas will be this Saturday. Is there anything special that you have planned for the holidays?
Not particularly. I don't usually make a big deal about holidays. It's just a time for family to get together. That's nice. My family pulls together. Fortunately, most of my family is very near me in the New York, New Jersey area, so we get to pull together. I lost my dad 8 years ago, and I lost my mom a year ago. So, it's, holidays are a little different now, without them, of course. But we have a good time. We enjoy being together. And I'm looking forward to seeing some plays that I'm going to on Broadway soon. One just after Christmas, I'm going to see Dominique Morisseau's new play, Skeleton Crew, which is starring Felicia Rashad. I'm going to get to see Felicia on stage again. And then in January, I'm going to see the Book of Mormon, which I've wanted to see for years. So those are a few of my holiday plans.
Okay. So manifestations going into 2022, if there's anybody that you could collaborate with, who would your dream collaboration be? What actor grabs Mr. Owens' eye?
There are so many. I mean, it's not actors so much as I think it's more producers and directors. I mean, there's hundreds of actors that I want to work with. There are hundreds of great actors that I admire. But my experience with Tyler Perry was so great. It's been 3+ years since I worked with Mr. Perry. Since we did those episodes of Haves and Have-Nots, I'm really eager to work with Tyler again. That was a really wonderful experience in Atlanta. And I know that I also know that when he has something that's right for me, he'll reach out to me. You know what I mean? So that's cool. But I'm looking forward to seeing him again and working with him because I loved working with him.
All right, all right. All right, Fashion Dolls, it is about that time. We are going to do two games with Mr. Owens, and then I'm going to take some of his fans' questions, ladies and gentlemen. So if you have any questions, feel free to hit that question bubble or you can type them in the comments. The first game we're going to do is called the Rapid Five Holiday Edition. And you have to tell me 5 things you can't live without during the Christmas holidays, Mr. Owens.
Right now,
Mm-hmm.
my family, music, movies, oh my gosh, eggnog, and sweet potato pie.
All right. That's 5, ladies and gentlemen. And I see the questions are already starting to roll
By
in.
the way,
So keep
speaking of movies, I recently saw the new West Side Story, and it's one of the greatest things you'll ever see on film. I'm looking forward to seeing it again, like this week.
all right, ladies and
Absolutely
gentlemen.
brilliant.
Y'all heard that. Please go and check it out. And I see the questions are starting to come in. Shout outs to J.L. Dixon Jr. I also did an interview with him. Shout outs to him. Amazing, amazing actor. And we got a comment from Tony. The chat is moving so fast. Tony said, I would love to work with Terrence Howard, Forrest Whitaker, yourself, and Samuel L. Jackson. Oh, great list.
You know
Great
what?
lineup.
I'd love to work with all those guys. Terrence Howard, Forrest Whitaker, and Samuel L. Jackson are some of the greatest actors out there. I'd love to work with each and every one of them. I did work with Samuel L. Jackson years ago because I don't know how many people know this, but Samuel L. Jackson was Bill Cosby's stand-in on The Cosby Show until the mid to late 1980s. And one day, Sam Jackson came up to us and said, "Hey guys, take care. I'm going." We're like, "Where you going, Sam?" So I'm going to do something else. And we're all like, "Bye, Sam. Good luck." We're like, well, good luck, Sam. And then, within a year or two, we were all quite astounded at what he did and what he's done, becoming one of the most important actors in the world. But he actually worked on The Cosby Show. So I know Sam from a long time ago.
And a lot of people came on there. Shout outs to Erica Alexander from
Oh,
Living
gosh.
Single.
Yeah.
It it was just an amazing, like so many people on there. Sally Richardson, like the list goes on and on.
Yeah. Any other questions or
I'm gonna take
comments?
some from the audience. Oh snap, he's just that cool. And what had no idea Samuel L. Jackson was like, yes. A lot of people got their start on that show. Raven, like I said, Erica Alexander, Living Single. It's
And
so many. Carl Anthony.
so many were guest stars. Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler was a guest star on The Cosby Show before he was Adam Sandler. So many people who've gone on to do great things started, had an early shot on that show.
And of course, the beautiful Lisa Bonet. We cannot forget Denise. We can't forget Denise
Of
Huxtable.
course.
She was my favorite.
Absolutely.
I'm a fashion girl, and Denise, I definitely could relate to Denise.
She was a lot of people's favorite. Every guy I ever ran into during that whole time is like, "So you know Lisa Bonet? So you've met Lisa Bonet?" I'm like, "Yes, man. Back off."
All right, fashion dolls. We got some questions. Let me take some questions from this question box right here. Let me see. Let me see what you guys are asking. Oh my God. Would Mr. Owens prefer to do Broadway or a running sitcom?
I would prefer to do artistically. I'd prefer to do Broadway, but financially, I would rather do a running sitcom. And right now, I made a decision 5 or 6 years ago not to do theater. Other than my one-man Shakespeare show, I haven't done theater in about 6 years because it just don't pay enough. It's my favorite thing to do, but I can't support myself and my family with it, which is an unfortunate thing. So I would take the sitcom because that would, give me a consistent livelihood. And then from that, I could do theater projects. I could fund theater projects by doing that kind of thing. Good
All
question.
right. Let me see. Any more questions? Okay. Yes to the mess, baby. Were you a fan of the Powerverse before starring on both shows?
No, but not because I didn't like it, but because I just don't watch television. I know that's going to sound weird to people. I'm not a television watcher, haven't been for years. The only time I turn on my TV really is to watch either sports or news or to find a movie, you know. But I don't usually watch television shows. Sometimes I happen to come across them and I enjoy them, but I'm just not a TV watcher. And I know that sounds funny to people because, but you're on TV, you don't watch TV. Yeah, I'm not the only one either. Some of us are just not TV watchers, but it's certainly a great show with a lot of great people involved. And I try to watch the episodes I'm on. I haven't even seen all the episodes that I've been on. So it's like it's just not part of my daily routine.
All right. There's a question from Chrissy. Chrissy wants to know, what type of music do you listen to?
I'm going to sound real corny here, guys. I'm a classical music fan. Classical music and classic rock. The Beatles are my favorite group, and I love R&B. So between classical music, R&B, and classic rock, that's my favorite. I love lots of different types of music, but those are my favorite things. I was raised and weaned on classical music. It's in my blood. It's in my system. I played classical music. I'm a classically trained musician. I play the viola. I come from a very musical family. I've been in orchestras. I played in orchestras.
Nice.
So that's just part of me. Yeah, and I play guitar as well. I love playing guitar.
All right, let me see what else is in the question box. Okay, Keisha underscore 73 wants to know, how would you feel if your Power Book 2 ghost character becomes a little grittier?
Oh, I love that. I love gritty. Yeah.
All right.
I as an actor, I'd love to do something grittier. I'd like to get a little dirtier. Whatever that would mean. I don't know. I don't know what that would mean. Maybe Daniel Warren gets swept up in some corruption or something, or he starts cutting corners, or doing less than legitimate things. Yeah, that would be fun.
Okay.
Y'all know bad guys are fun, of course, right?
Okay, let me see. Sir J. Crew 069 wants to know one of your favorite movies.
My favorite movie. My favorite movies are The Godfather Part 1 and 2. And
Okay.
that's it. I've got a lot of favorite movies. Those are the top two.
You are so welcome, baby. All right, Andrita underscore Tika, are you in touch with the twins from your show?
No, I have not seen those guys for, I'm sorry to say, it's been decades. This coming March will be 30 years since the Cosby Show ended, guys.
Ah.
On March 4th, 1992, we filmed the last day. That was the last day of filming Cosby. March 4th. It's funny, right? March 4th. That's a phrase, right? We're going to March 4th into the future, right? March 4th, 1992. So it's going to be 30 years this March 4th that the show ended. I have not seen Gary and the girl whose name escapes me at the moment for literally, it must be at least 20 years, if not more.
All right, let me take a few more
I tell you one
questions.
thing, I wouldn't recognize them now if I did see them.
It's so different. It's a whole different time now.
I wouldn't
Everybody's
recognize them now.
okay. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, Good question, Darkberry Juice. Would you be interested in participating in Afro Comic Con?
Afro Comic Con, is that a convention of sorts, a comic book convention? If so, the answer is yes. I'm always interested in doing that thing. I just have to find out the logistics and specifics of it, but no reason for me not to be interested in such a thing. Hope you got that answer,
Ooh,
whoever asked.
oh my goodness. Y'all are coming in with the good questions. This one right here is from Josh_911. She wants to know, did you ever connect on a personal level with the great Mr. James Avery regarding your mutual love for the arts?
Uh, we did in a certain way. I worked with James Avery in a play. We did a Shakespeare play together. We did a production of Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing at the Long Wharf Theater in 2000, the year 2000. And I believe we did have a number of discussions about Shakespeare and stuff. We were both, lovers of classical theater. So yeah, there was a connection where that was concerned. Yeah. God rest his soul.
Promo's 1984 wants to know, who is your favorite actor from the Power Book 2?
My favorite actor is, I think my favorite actor is the woman who plays Tariq's mother.
With the red hair, right?
The woman who plays Tariq's mother is fabulous.
I think I know who you're talking about.
I
Am I
also
correct,
I
ladies and
also
gentlemen?
really like what Michael does as Tariq himself. I've gotten to work with Michael a good deal, Tariq, and he's a lovely young man. Wonderful to work with. One of the people who's most made me feel very accepted and welcome.
Notori Naughton, yes. Yes, and she's now on the show with Eve and Brandy on ABC called Queens, and it showcases women that are in the hip hop music industry. So,
Sorry, I'm back.
oh, you got a call? You good?
No. Something popped up on my screen. I tried to get rid of it, and I got rid of us instead. Okay, I'm back.
Yes, Notori Naughton. I thought you guys were talking about Mary J. Blige. Yeah, they're both singers. And Notori actually comes from a Broadway background. She did Broadway. For those of you
What
who
do you know? See that?
mm-hmm.
I also
All right.
love, isn't, what's her name? Oh gosh, I'm forgetting her name right now. She plays the grandmother. Debbie, is it Debbie someone? Oh yeah, I want to say Debbie Allen, but it's not Debbie Allen. That's Felicia Rashad's sister. I'm blanking on her name right now, but I think she plays Tariq's grandmother, and she is absolutely fabulous. Fabulous actress, fabulous woman.
It's not Debbie Reynolds. I know
No,
exactly who
it's
you
not Debbie Reynolds.
Debbie Morgan, yes.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go. Thank you, whoever. Thank you. Yeah, she's wonderful. We've gotten to do one scene uh, together so far. I'm looking forward to working with her more.
Absolutely. Proud that both of you are taking care of business. Absolutely. Do we have any more questions, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Owens before we conclude this amazing interview? I see so many of you guys are coming in,
And
and
thank
I'm
you, everybody, for watching and for your questions and for your interest. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Really appreciate it.
yes, they love you. They love you. You have a huge support system, and they're
Thank
all
you
coming
all.
in.
Thank you all. I'm eager to get back to work, hopefully in February or whatever, health conditions, you know, permitting, that we'll get back to work on Ghost. We'll get back to work. I'm also reoccurring on a show called The Michael Shea Show, or That Damn Michael Shea. I'm on that show as a recurring actor. I'm also recurring as a character on The Good Fight. So I'm looking forward to, and also every few years I get to show up on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, with Danny DeVito, that show is so funny.
Was on an
Mm.
episode of that aired recently. So eager to get back to work after the holidays.
Wait a minute. Let me read this comment. Slim Jim 41, you are great, and I love that scene, how that scene went down, and however, I just wished it would have been in his voice on a recording. I guess your voice.
I'm not sure which scene this person is referring to.
They're saying you rock, and they want to know your favorite musician.
Oh, my favorite musician. Oh gosh. I go back to classical music. Favorite musician. Oh, you know what? If we're talking about favorite single musicians, I cannot think of anyone I admire more than Stevie Wonder.
Oh,
Can't come up with a better answer than that. And
Ariel,
I would include Prince in that if he were still with us. I would include the miraculous Prince as well.
he's so Prince was so innovative and just ahead of his time. Like, oh,
Great questions. Thank you, everyone.
oh, they're talking about the note scene. The note from Ghost. They wish the note Tyreek received was in his dad's voice.
Oh,
Okay.
I see. I see. I got it.
They like
Interesting.
your
Well,
voice.
we have some aspiring directors out there.
Yes.
Cool. That's cool.
Are you more of a fan of artists that create their music or recorded music?
I'm a fan of both. I'm not sure I'd make too much of a distinction between that. I'm a fan of anyone who creates. Anyone who creates and doesn't sit around waiting for the phone to ring, but does something, and not even does something necessarily to be famous or to get paid, although it's nice, those things, but does something simply for the act of creating. I admire creators who just love to create regardless of what comes of it. I do that in my life. Some of the things I create get a lot of recognition, and some of the things I create get no recognition at all, but they're all very special to me. If I write a poem or write a song, or write a little story or something, or which are things that I do, no one's ever seen that stuff. It's still very, very important. It's essential to me and who I am.
Absolutely, 100%. And that was going to be my last question for you. What gems would you like to leave to people that are looking to get into the acting industry? Because I've seen so many up and coming actors, close colleagues of mine that I'm supposed to be interviewing and stuff, come in this interview just to see you. As soon as I posted the flyer, they were like, "Oh my God, it's Elvin from the Cosby Show, it's Mr. Geoffrey Owens." Like they were just fanning out. So,
That's
what
cool.
advice, yes, would you
The,
give?
the advice the advice I have is to take it seriously. We're living in a time now where a lot of people are looking for a quick way to something, and I don't know about that. I don't know what that's about. To me, my advice, if you like to act, if you want to be a star, if you want to get rich, I don't know what to say to you. You know, I really don't. I'm not saying that facetiously or judgmentally. I just don't know how to advise someone like that. If you want to be an actor, if you want to be serious about acting, then take classes, learn about acting, read plays, go to the theater, try to get into a play. Don't even necessarily try to get into a movie or a TV. Get into something where you get on stage and you flex your acting muscles and you learn the technique of acting as you're going. Take class, definitely. Get enrolled in some kind of class. Take it seriously. and build yourself as an artist bit by bit. That's the best advice I have, is if you love it, then do it. And don't be focused on the result. Be focused on the process.
Absolutely.
I know a lot of people hear that and say, well, it's easy for him to say. Well, but I did that. I focused on the process. I did. And, some things have worked out for me. That's great. I've been lucky. It's part luck, it's part talent, part opportunity. But if you don't have a foundation, if you're not ready for opportunity and luck to help you, then opportunity and luck won't make any difference. So that's really where you got to start, is just building your foundation as an artist.
Absolutely.
And now I've got to go, because guess where I have to go? I have to go to my old Trader Joe's next door, Clifton, New Jersey, and go shopping.
All right.
I'm going to see my old friends at Trader Joe's, do some shopping over there.
All right. Yes. And it's the holidays. Christmas is Saturday, so make sure you guys
I gotta get my food.
Get everything prepped. Mm-hmm.
This has been a pleasure, dear.
Thank you so much, Mr. Geoffrey Owens. It was such an honor. When I spoke with him on the phone yesterday, y'all, I was trying not to fan out. So it's such an honor that I got to speak with you.
Likewise. I really appreciate it. This has been really fun. Thank you.
Take care, Fashion Dolls. We love you, and we will see you Thursday with Kadeem Hunter. So make sure you guys tune in. We love you. Take care, and this interview will be up. And again, thank you so much, Mr. Owens.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Happy holidays.
Yes, please.
Seriously, stay safe.
Take care, everyone.